I recently came across this what looks like a bar graph, and I think it pretty much sums up the reason why I started a YouTube channel. So this bar graph is problematic in a lot of reasons. Aside from the really confusing use of the bar graph, the disproportionate income comparison, and wealthy values that doesn't add up, the problem runs deeper. Remember how I mentioned last time na kung marami kang ang pera pero marami ka rin namang gastusin, mahirap ka pa rin. So obviously, you have to spend less. And that's kind of the main idea behind this bar graph. You might say na it does have a point, but the sad reality is, especially if you're living in a third world country and mababa yung income mo, halos laging walang pera. And even if you spend less, sa dami ng gastusin at tumataas na inflation rate, wala talagang natitira. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, the average annual income of Filipino families is only around 149,980 or around 12,000 per month. And more than 50% of that is napupunta sa pagkain and then sa pambahay and utilities and other basic needs. Now, let's look at this pie chart by the PSA. This compares yung upper 10% ng income groups and bottom 10%. So for the upper 10% income groups, dito masabi pa natin that the controversial bar graph that we looked at earlier might hold some truth. Siyempre, itong mga tao na to ay malalaki yung sahod dahil they have more than enough para sa kanilang pangailangan. They would obviously have extra money para sa mga other stuff. For example, investment. You cannot apply the bar graph to the bottom 10%, which halos lahat ng pera is nauubos sa basic needs. So, people are claiming that the bar graph he made ang main idea is if you spend less, you'll become wealthy, is absurd, insensitive, and detached from reality. Others in the comment section even pointed out na baka yung gumawa ng bar graph is from a middle class or a higher class family. Even if merong mga tao na syempre kulang nga lang sa financial literacy or financial management, meron ding mga tao na kahit ilang pagtitipid na, especially those na mababa yung sahod or mga breadwinners, wala pa rin natitira. This bar graph also perfectly demonstrates na why someone like you from our lower class can be misled if you're getting financial advices from those from middle or higher classes or from a first and second world country. And which is also why I'm making my videos. My goal was to kind of represent our class properly. So instead of jumping into like an investment video, I decided to focus on helping you tap into your scarce resources and find opportunities that can help you achieve your goal of financial independence, but this time in a sensitive and more transparent way. So, konting reminisce lang. Whenever I was going through a rough patch in life, and since wala akong parental figure to look up to, I always resort sa Google or YouTube. That didn't actually happen so smoothly until I turned 19 na nakapagpakabit na kami ng Wi-Fi sa bahay. Kasi back then, being able to go to a computer shop or have the money to kind of magpa-load ng 50 pesos pang internet is already a luxury. And the information that are at my fingertips now is something I struggled to have access on before. And I think that might be true for you as well. It's not an overstatement to say that books and internet changed my life. And I'm planning to sponsor books and internet plans to those people that really needs that extra help rin. I'm still kind of thinking how it'll go, but I'll announce it soon. Surely you might have wondered na, Erica, kung economically underprivileged ka talaga, why do you speak like a rich kid in full English? Which brings me to kind of the main point of my video, which is unfair advantage. I grew up from a lower class family in a third world country na mataas yung corruption and poor yung education system. And we never had a permanent home until I turned 19. And even the home that we're staying right now, nabayaran pa namin sa pag-ibig. Ang mga kamag-anak ko puno-puno ng mga teenage pregnancies and hindi nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral. And bibihira lang yung may mga bahay and less yung may mga bahay na bato. So I had no connections, no wealth, and no guidance. And being able to speak in English was not something I easily acquired in. I was only able to start being able to write in English when I was 13 and speak properly when I was 18 nung naging call center agent na ako. But just a disclaimer na even before then, I was kind of heavily exposed na to the English language. I'm an avid reader of classic books in PDF. I participated in a lot of English writing competitions and written kind of a lot of English literature. And so, I did not say this na para magyabang or what, but just to kind of give you an idea na I kind of have a good background na with the English language. I just don't have the confidence in speaking in it. And when the opportunity arises na I get to talk to people every day in English, nahasa siya. And which also explains the growth spurt, how I kind of suddenly transitioned from a penniless teenager into someone who earns 6 digits in her early 20s. But my experience might be different from you, especially when you're just starting out. And another unfair advantage that I think that I have is I think I learn things relatively fast, and I think that it's something I inherited. And you're probably thinking na ang yabang ko naman or that I'm probably overestimating myself, but I assure you that I have more doubts in my body than I have cells. I just kind of still went and talked about it because I want you to recognize the importance of knowing your unfair advantages and hopefully encourage you to seek your own, because your unfair advantages will help you stand out and reach your goals faster. In their book, The Unfair Advantage, Ash, Ali, and Hassan Kuba categorized the unfair advantage into miles. So money, intelligence and insight, location and luck, education and expertise, status. And in my next video, we'll explore each of this and how you can find your own and use it to change your life. So see you next time. Bye-bye!